how it works.
One thing I know, black people know when it's racist.
And that's how we're starting it off. Welcome back, everybody, to your favorite nerdy podcast, where we talk about everything pop culture, but especially comic books, movies, and anime. And that podcast being Comic X
Weeb! Ha! Ha! Ha!
I'm your co-host, James, a.k.a. Comics for Cheap, a.k.a. hashtag Send It to James, a.k.a. Let's Take a Tour to the Titanic. And I got my co-host here with me.
Boy, that's deep right there. It's your boy, Chris, a.k.a. Come on, Dino, hit me with the music. Love it. Black Santa. Revere me, a.k.a. Right. Man, nobody can say Mr. Beast ain't a smart man. I'll tell you that much. a.k.a. Super Gold. For what? For what? Water. Good to have somebody already up in here, but sponsored by nobody. God dang it. Well, I was with Deer Park. Where y'all at? Where's somebody at? But don't worry, they're going to be coming soon. I'm telling y'all, it's getting all hot and stuff. Manscaped's going to need something. Rave Shadows, they're going to need something. I'm telling you, man, even Wulong Fallen Dynasty, they're going to need some sponsors. I'm telling y'all, we're going to be up there soon.
Who?
As of right
Why
now,
are we shouting people out when we're not even sponsored by them? I'm so confused by this. We're like sponsoring them for free.
That's what I said, man. Because we are unsullied since 2021.
That's right.
All 2020. Right. We just been unsullied.
My pants are unsullied. That's for sure.
Yep.
This is the 90th episode. I can't believe we're at 90. It's kind of crazy. Hit that like button for us, whether you're live or on the replay. We appreciate it. Smash it, mash it. Subscribe if you haven't already. All that usual bullshit.
Wait, hit it with your headbutt? What?
Hit it with the headbutt.
Anyway, whatever. Words.
Yeah. Sure. All right. Well, we're gonna jump into the shenanigans that we get into every Tuesday here at 9 p.m. And let's start it off because we were talking about this right before we jumped on live. We got to kick it off with one of the most infamous stories of the last, I don't even know how long, but the submarine, or the submersible, as they called it. It wasn't even a submarine. The submersible. That went into catastrophic failure and imploded last Thursday after taking not a whole bunch, but like 5-6 rich people down to see the Titanic remains.
Would have been Mr. Beast if he ain't turned them down. He said, "Nah, I'm good."
So I didn't even know that. You were the one who just told me that Mr. Beast apparently.
Homie dodged a bullet.
You think this is going to be one of those things where a whole bunch of people start saying I was supposed to be on there, like the planes of 9/11? Like, oh, yeah, I was totally supposed to be on the submersible. And I was like, nah.
It could be, but I will say, if anybody I believe would have been asked to go up there, I can believe him being asked to go up there, to be fair. Considering the money he's made, how popular he is, I can see him being asked, like, hey, do you want to come up here? So I can see that. Peace for him.
What's going on, Nick Rummel? How you doing, bud? Yeah, I mean, the whole thing was crazy. Of like, they're charging like $250,000 per ticket,
right?
And you're basically watching everything take place on a screen anyway,
right?
So it's like, you know what I would have done? I would have just like taken the money, put them in there, and then just did like a pre-recording of going down and looking at the wreckage that was done by like a robot. And I just would have streamed that on the
by a robot.
Yeah, I would have just streamed that shit on the screen, and then pretend that we came back up and be like, "All right, hope you guys enjoyed your tour. Have a nice day."
Fair enough, because I know God knows there was no chance in hell I would have ever even thought of getting on that. Look, man, if you believe in anything being haunted, you can't tell me the damn Titanic isn't haunted. Like, even the concept of going around the Titanic to do some crazy shit like that is just like, nah, I'm good. Plus, I didn't even know this, and my brother was telling me. Apparently, to get out of that thing, they had to, like, bolt them in, basically.
Yes.
It didn't have a yeah. I didn't even know that he was telling me. I was like, hell,
It was
what?
It was
Why would you
bolted
agree
from
to
the
get on
outside.
that?
Nick says he'll believe the Mr. Beast over Seth MacFarlane not going on the 9/11 flight. And Rob is saying he's watching on the 75-inch TV tonight, so don't do anything weird. Can't promise that.
I can't promise that at all, bro. Now that you said something, now I want to do something weird.
Nick says that ghosts can't swim.
All right. Okay, Nick. See the way you even read that, just to tell the way it sounded and the way he wrote it, he might know by experience.
Yeah, he might know. Nick might be a ghost. I don't know.
We don't even know.
It is possible. It is possible. He looks a little ghostly sometimes.
There you go.
Eerie.
Good ghost. You never know, man. It could be like Danny Phantom. You don't know. But nah, man, that thing, that whole shit sound. You know what, man? I'm gonna tell you the truth. What that thing was, man. That was a sacrifice right there. Those people were sacrificed to Cthulhu.
To Cthulhu.
Because I mean, damn, man, that whole thing sound like that's like the perfect setup for a B-rated horror movie. You know, like that's like you got to get bolted in.
Yep.
You can't just open it normally. Like, what type of shit is that? Who would agree to get on that?
Apparently, some rich people. So okay, so we gotta go over. So the apparently there's this new thing called extreme tourism that rich people just don't know how to spend their money, so they have to go on these weird tour type things.
Okay.
And that's what led to this basically. But what I really want to talk about is how quickly the internet just decided that they were just going to go in and roast these dudes who died on the submersible.
That's messed up.
I mean, kind of, but also
they deserve it. Not saying no. They set themselves up for this situation.
Some of the memes have just been absolutely fire. I can't lie. When I was first seeing them, I was like, damn, in the age of cancel culture, I can't believe all these fucking memes are just roasting these people. And then, like, it just never stopped. I guess, like, the internet just collectively decided it was okay to make fun of these people.
I guess they did. I will say this, though. I mean, obviously, the young one who died, apparently they came out that he didn't even want to get up there. He was telling his dad it was a bad idea. But, you know, he went up there to bond with his dad. And, you know, I guess they bonded. When that thing exploded, they probably bonded in a whole different way.
Jesus Christ.
God, that was messed up, wasn't it, man? But hey, that's called the truth. They set them. I'm sorry, man. They set themselves up for that. Because I mean, just seriously, man. I'm gonna repeat it one more time, one last time. They had to bolt them in. They didn't have an actual way of just opening the door to dip. Why would you think it's a good idea to get? Then it came out and was saying that it felt like inspections and everything too. Like, bro, come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on.
They ignored all the safety protocols.
Yeah.
They were driving the thing with a PlayStation controller or something that looked like a PlayStation controller.
That's a great idea.
Rob says as soon as that vessel went underwater, the girl from The Ring came crawling out of one of the 8-inch screens.
That's what I'm talking about, bro. I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling y'all, man. It was a sacrifice to Cthulhu. The Ring chick was there. It was crazy.
Shit. Oh my god. Well, at least, you know, the only positive thing I will say is that at least they didn't feel anything, I'm sure. Because when that shit imploded, they were saying at that pressure, if you were to like shoot a scuba tank, oxygen tank or something, that water would rush in before air had a chance to get out. So at that pressure, they would have just been done like instantly.
Oh yeah, no doubt. That's exactly what it would have been. But you know, unfortunately, when they were sacrificed, man, I'm telling y'all, they were ripped to shreds. And then it exploded afterwards, just so you know, we us normal people can know what the hell went down. Yeah, man. I mean, see, but I want to point one thing out. I want to ask the question. This is not racist. How many black people was on there up there?
No, you're 100% correct. There were 0 black people.
Yep. You didn't even get that token one that just came along for the ride. Hell nah, bro. That whole thing sound like a setup. that sound like a straight up sacrifice. Legitly, it sound like a setup in some way, shape, or form. They was trying to get rid of those motherfuckers because that shit don't make no sense.
Oh my god. Rob says apparently the kid wanted to go and set the world record for solving a Rubik's Cube 12,000 feet underwater. What the fuck? Find kind of real world street cred would that get you? You know, you get a little badge, I guess, that says I solved a Rubik's Cube 12,000 feet underwater.
Rob got a point there, though. What type of street cred that's going to get you? Because, see, it depends on where you living at, Rob. Now, see, if this was in our era, James, in the 90s and stuff, and he would have did that little thing, as soon as he got to school, especially he up in New York, he would have got a wedgie. He would have got his head put in the toilet.
Swirly.
You know what I'm saying? He would have got bullied. Because, I mean, what type of nerdy, lame shit is that? You saw the Rubik's Cube underwater. What does that even mean? Like, who gives a fuck? Who cares?
This is so stupid, dude. Oh, shit. All right. That's enough of making fun of dead people. All right. Let's go ahead and before we get some terrible karma. So you got to see hold on, one last comment. Did you hear the FDA passed lab-grown meat to be sold for mass consumption? I thought we were already doing that. We were not doing that before? I thought we were like already cloning cows and pigs and shit.
Yeah, we was already doing that. They've talked about some crazy science they've done with some of the rat clones that's happened. And even some of the apparent cat clones that's happened has been some crazy things they've been able to do. And they're getting more closer and closer than people think to actually being able to clone people, which personally, I believe they probably have already figured a way how to do something like that.
Yeah, bro, I need a clone of myself. Get some work done around here, around the house and shit.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Bro, if it gets to cloning humans, it's just going to be like a sex slavery thing for sure, 100%. I don't. There's no other like outcome that I can foresee that like as evil as humans are. If cloning really starts to get into humans, it's just going to be sex slavery, bro. That's all it's going to be. Because these are like they're going to be like off the grid, no social security number, no proof of birth, just fucking test tube grown. And that's it. No one's going to be looking for these motherfuckers because technically they don't exist.
Damn, imagine that shit. Would you sell yourself to slavery?
Like a clone of me?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
What it would be.
I don't think they're going to want me.
I'm just saying. What you trying to say? It's going to be the black clones and stuff?
No, I'm saying a skinny white male that I can want.
I'm asking you a question. Would you sell yourself? And I'm saying slavery because at the end of the day, if you're selling yourself to somebody else, that's what it is. Yes. I don't mean black or white. I mean legitimately. So would you sell yourself to somebody else?
Oh, without a doubt.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding. I would not do that.
James, like, what's the price tag here?
Oh, well, yeah. Actually,
James, I would never do that. Like, I'll give you $2 billion for him. What?
I'll give you two.
Man, yo, bro, his bags is already packed. Yo, you need $2 billion, man.
$2 billion?
Chris Clemens, I loved you, man, but it's time for you to go. These nice people are gonna treat you way better than I can.
I don't know if there's anything I wouldn't do for $2 billion. You know what I mean?
I was so close to spit my water out. There is a lot of things I wouldn't do for that. I'm sorry. I do almost anything, but I ain't doing anything for that.
I don't know, man. Everyone's got a number. Rob says, damn, this episode already took a dark turn. Quick cut to the sponsors. Yeah, that's right. On your 75-inch TV, here we are. You said don't get weird, and we got weird real fast. I don't know.
You did, exactly. I told you, man. Once you said that, I was like,
But to go back to Nick's original question, no, I have not heard anything about the FDA passing lab-grown meat. But I mean, honestly, what would be the difference? I don't know. Is it better for the environment, or have we not gotten it to a point where it's like it would be better for the environment yet? I don't know. Is it technically vegan? Not harming any animals. Isn't that their whole thing? You can't harm the animals. This isn't harming any animals.
True. Yeah, that's true, man. Except for the pigs that we kill and slaughter and eat.
I'm saying the lab grown stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. No
now when they're like, oh, it's the Impossible Whopper. It tastes just like a real Whopper. And it's like, oh, but it really is a real Whopper. It's just made with lab grown meat.
But it's the clones now. So.
Nick says Bill Gates pushed it, so it's got to be bad. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. I do want to say one last thing on the topic, on the real. RIP to all the people who lost their lives. None but prayers to their family, and that's a crappy situation, no matter how you look at it.
All right, there you go. Had to put that in for the sponsors. All right, Nick says that he saw the Flash.
Facts.
Chris also got to see the Flash.
Yeah.
So I guess we might as well just go into the Flash again real quick.
Yeah.
All right, Chris. So last week we discussed kind of spoiler-free, but I think this week at this point it's been out for 2 weeks, and whoever wanted to see it is going to see it because obviously it didn't do very well numbers-wise.
Now we can officially talk about how it is bombing.
It is definitely bombing.
It had like damn near 80% drop off, damn near. So yeah, it ain't doing too good.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, just honestly, I will agree with you on this. The Batman scenes was really cool.
Okay.
The CGI is wonky though.
Yes.
And honestly, man, I couldn't. It's too damn long for me, man. It was a time where I was sitting there and I was like, damn, man, it really is like 3 hours, man. Can this wrap up a little bit faster? Can we get to the part where this girl gets killed and this dude freaks out? The story itself,
that was just 10 minutes in.
Yeah, I know, right? The story itself was kind of like they did an okay job explaining the time travel. I'll say that too. They didn't do a terrible job with that. That was fine. Mm-hmm. But man, while I was watching it and I'm seeing this older Batman, I'm sitting there like, man, I wish that was Thomas.
Yeah.
I wish Martha's gonna show up in here and get some Joker action like that. I wish Reverse Flash was in this movie. Like, it just made me want more and more. I'm like, man, I wish there was a scene where Wonder Woman was, just getting a nasty with Aquaman. And then next thing you know, 5 minutes later, she's cutting off Mira's head. Like, I ain't getting that.
No, didn't get any of that. Although it would have been really satisfying, I think, for her to cut off Mira's head with all the shit that was going on with what's her face. With her and
I know that would have made it so much better.
That shit would have been pretty funny, right? A nice little fuck you. Like they just used her CGI.
And Johnny Depp just make a cameo scene where he just walks up to the head and just pisses right on it. That's tell you that was a movie right there. But no, as for the actual movie, I don't know, man. I do like the fact that Zod, in the grand scheme of things, he did win.
Zod won for sure.
He killed fucking, Supergirl. He killed Bruce. He killed Batman. Like, he won.
Yeah.
And I thought that was cool. But, man, it's just...
Nick was not a fan. Nick says it was garbage.
That's where I was at, too, in the grand scheme of things. Again, it's not the worst movie ever, but it just wasn't good.
Yeah.
Again, it's not the worst movie ever because we were talking before we got on. It's better than Captain Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
What else we named? It's better than Eternals.
Uh-huh.
You named like a couple of movies. Yeah, it's better than
Batman vs Superman. I thought it was better than that. Yeah. Yep. Better than Black Widow. I felt like.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you on all that.
It was better than a few things, but at the same time, it's just like, man, this movie's not good.
Rob says move forward with the Batman Beyond with Keaton, according to Kevin Smith. I wish. I mean, there were so many rumors regarding that, but we'll see if that's what happens.
Because now I was at least reading something on that said because of because that the Flash movie's not doing good. I don't. It could just been some random article just trying to get some clout, and they were saying that hey, the Flash movie was going to be very important to see whether or not they was actually going to do the Batman Beyond movie, and with it not doing good and it looks like it's going to bomb, the Batman Beyond movie probably won't go on as planned. I don't know.
Yeah. Nick says the CGI on him running was so bad it took me out of the movie. Yeah, the CGI of him running, man, I don't know how to do like how you would do the Flash running, like, you know, how he does. But that definitely wasn't the greatest representation of the Flash running.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah,
it wasn't. I don't know if you look at it like, well, what about how and you can help me remember a little more because you've seen it a little more recent. Well, you've seen it definitely more recent than me. Quicksilver in the MCU. How did his running look? Because I remember it not looking bad. I just can't remember.
No, it looked all right. Yeah.
Do you think they should have maybe copied more of that style? Would that have made it look better? Yeah.
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially like in the X-Men movie where it was almost, I mean, they made it super comical, but it kind of was, I mean, I don't know. The Marvel did do it better, but you know that comic scene or the comedic relief scene where he's like running around taking all the people out in the Pentagon while he had like the headphones in and stuff. Yes. So yeah, but I mean, like the Flash, they tried to do with the Flash with those horrendous looking babies that he was saving, that were falling out of the hospital. But yeah, I do. Yeah, it was just, I don't know. I still think that for what it was, for what DC had set up prior, I thought they did a decent job. But yeah, like you said, I do wish it was Thomas instead of Bruce, and I do wish we got to see some other stuff. I mean, they had all the characters. Shit.
That's what I'm saying. That's what made it so weird. Because definitely considering you have you like you said, you have all the characters. This ain't a thing of like, well, when Civil War happened, they couldn't do a legit Civil War because they don't have most of the characters to actually do the actual version of it. And they did a great job with what they did have. They did a phenomenal job.
Right.
What it was, I like Civil War. And again, they did the best they could what they had. Good job. And plus, showing Spider-Man that first time, blew everybody away in the trailer. You had Black Panther show up. Awesome.
Yep.
Let's take that situation. You have all the main hitters from the movie. Mm-hmm. You have them all and you can use them. And then just put like you got having Keaton there, you could have just turned him into Thomas Wayne and everybody would have been cool with it. He didn't have to be Bruce again.
Right.
Everybody would have been like, oh, that makes perfect sense. This is great. Cool. Right. You still get the same pop of a Batman.
Oh, yeah.
And then you have Wonder Woman.
Even to like the more extreme where, you know, he could have just really been out here killing people because that's what Thomas was doing.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's like, you have no excuse why you didn't want to do it outside of what I've said before. They didn't have the balls, in my opinion, to have Wonder Woman be as crazy and the piece of shit that she was. Because you have to have Wonder Woman go completely ham. You have to, like, just like the scene where she kills Shazam, made that dude turn back into a boy and she snapped his neck. Like, they don't have the balls to do anything like that. I don't think they do.
Rob says, I would have much rather have seen Barry find Bruce living with Michelle Pfeiffer Catwoman instead of a crazed hermit. She's still hot. They could have tossed her a few million to get her to join. Yeah, apparently they like begged Christian Bale to come back, and he said no.
Oh, really?
And, yeah. So that's the reason that we didn't get him back in it. But yeah, I'm sure, you know, maybe they might have asked some of the other people from the early Batman movies to come back, and they were probably like, nah. We're all right.
It's like, yo, let me see the script first, and I get back to you. They see the script, they're just like, yeah, all right.
Nick says
be busy.
They didn't want to pay royalties to the comic artists and writers. You talking about why they changed everything so much? I mean, that could be very much something that happened. You know, there's the whole writer strike that's going on right now too. But I mean, this movie was supposed to come out like 3 years ago, so this is before
it was
the writer strike and everything.
Yeah, it got delayed heavily.
So here's a few things. I think if it had come out 3 years ago and before all the Ezra Miller bullshit, and if they hadn't had so many screenings, I feel like there was a screening for it like I was hearing so much about screenings and leaks and all this other shit like for at least a month before.
Remember, dude, I told you the whole damn story before the movie came out.
Yeah,
because of the screaming and leaks, and my source was completely right on it.
So I mean that might have an effect as well on why it's doing so poorly, because all those screenings and stuff, they're all free. Man, people aren't paying to go to like see these early screenings or these test screenings or whatever. They're not paying for that shit. They're just like they sign up for the thing online or whatever. They get the email. They get to go to a theater and get to see the special screening of it, and that's that. Like you're not paying for it. It's just you have to show up and be one of the first 100 or something people in the line to get in.
Yeah, and think about that. You're doing this in places like New York and LA, places that have tons of people. Wouldn't you want to like have those tons of people go pay for the movie?
You would
instead
think.
of having them see it for free.
Yeah.
And then go tell their friends. And then that continues the whole thing.
Yeah. Lord, it's crazy. I recently reread Flashpoint, within the last week or so. And then I also just watched the animated film Flashpoint last night. Just to get the real Flashpoint back into me. Yeah. And yeah, man, it first of all, I forgot how like spot on the movie was, like the animated movie. It's like really it's just straight up like copy paste some of the script, like for sure
in a good way.
And in a good, of course, in a good way, because it's like it's straight from the source material. So, man, I don't know. I like how hard could it have possibly have been to just do that? Just copy paste it into a live action.
Like you can't that would have been so much cooler to see. That would have been so much cooler to see. Instead, we got this dude like freaking basically becoming emo Barry, freaking out because his little girlfriend that's not his girlfriend is dead, and he wants to bring her back. Like, bro, what's that? I know you that much of a simp. Like that dude became a full-on simp for Supergirl.
That's true.
I mean, my God, bro, she could have literally took a crap and said eat it, and he would have said no problem. Where the spoon at? I mean, seriously, she say jump, he say ha. Dude ready to massage her feet when she get home from work. Bro, like seriously, like I was like, God knows, man, calm down. Yeah. Don't you see what's happening here, bro? It's very simple to see. You're not making anything better. You keep doing it over and over and over, and she still gets fucking clapped by. Maybe in one universe he did get clapped by Zod, but she keeps getting completely fucking smashed by Zod. That doesn't make it sound better. She keeps getting her butt killed by Zod. No matter what happens, this dude seems to kill her, and then old man got to die over and over and over and over again. I mean, damn, man. How many times you want this old ass man to die? Like the whole thing is messed up. But no, because he is simp, he got to keep trying. And look what happened.
Nick says they don't follow the source material on purpose. Yeah, because what you're saying with the artists and the writers. But honestly, like, wasn't Jeff Johns on the fucking DC payroll anyway? Wasn't he like doing some writing for some of the movies?
Right.
Like, why wouldn't you just be like, all right, well, how you wrote the story?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Oh shit. It just doesn't make sense. But it is what it is. And now that whole thing's done. And we're moving on to the new DC, whether it's for better or for worse. Who knows? But we did just get some news today. Casting for Superman Legacy. We have like a relatively no-name Superman.
Okay.
What's his name? His name is David Cornsweet. Cornsweet.
That's a last name. Okay, cool. All right.
And then Rachel Brosnahan. I'm probably butchering these names. I have no idea how to say the names.
Can you tell me how old each of them are?
I know that the girl Rachel is like 33.
Okay, good. Young. Okay.
And then the dude, I mean, he don't look that. Hold on, I'll share the screen real quick.
Okay.
He don't look old at all. He looks really young.
Okay. All right, well, that's good then.
All right, there he is right here.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
So she is apparently more famous. She has an Emmy for a show. I can't remember the damn name of the show. But it's like I don't know. It's like a girly show, but it's
Is
got
she
like
the
5
star or just one of the co-hosts, like co-stars?
I would say she probably had. The chick has an 8 head. It's worse than a 4 head or a 5 head. She got an 8 head.
Nah, you want to talk about an 8 head? You look up Street Fighter 6 Kimberly. Matter of fact, after we do this, I want you to look that up. Street Fighter 6 Kimberly, and you look at her head. But no, like yeah.
I mean, so she's relatively known, just not by me so much, and then he's definitely not known like really by anybody. He's got some minor things here and there, but this is his breakout role, I would say.
100% breakout role. Yeah.
So
this is probably an overall breakout role too, probably.
I mean, for like mainstream, yeah, I would say.
Yeah, her biggest role she's had so far, I would think.
So
that's a good thing.
I was going to say the same thing. We need to stop like taking these known actors, and because I've yet to see anything negative about the casting news. I mean, granted, it just happened today, but if it was someone that we had known, immediately everyone would be like, "Oh, it's a terrible choice."
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, you would have instantly had it divided. You would have had some people like, "Oh yeah, I love him, he or she in this movie." Then you would have the other half like, "Nope, I hate them. They are trash. They are garbage. Why did you do this?" So
right.
Nah, that was a good move.
Yeah, no, I think it'll be all right. But you know, this is depending on if Warner and James Gunn can get it under control and produce some decent content.
Yeah, we talked about it a little bit last week. I said it, and I'm worried. I am worried, but you're gonna get a better idea at least. Obviously, you're gonna know it's Superman, but you probably get a little better idea. See how Blue Beetle goes, because I'm assuming he was more involved with that, but I could be wrong.
Nick says, I am not looking forward to any of the Gunn projects for DC. Damn, pessimist. All around pessimist.
Is there any reason I want to ask Nick? Is there any reason why you are not looking forward to it, or is it just a normal? I want to know what your reason is.
Yeah, let us know. Rob says during the script approval and casting process, they actually managed to get Michael Keaton to come back as Batman to capture all the nostalgia, then decided to kill him on screen twice. Genius. Well, we knew he was going to die. Like we said when we watched the trailer, we were like, Keaton is for sure dying.
Yep. Yeah, we did.
It wasn't. Thomas died in the comics. Gets stabbed right through the fucking chest.
To be fair, they brought him back though.
Huh?
Yeah, Thomas Wayne has came. Oh, we're talking about. No, okay, we're not talking about Flashpoint Thomas. I
was just talking about in the story. In the story,
okay.
He gets stabbed in the chest, and then he's like, "Oh, I conveniently wrote this letter for Bruce."
Oh yeah. Barry. Yeah. But they you gotta remember in at least the Flashpoint aspect, they still bring him back because they was like, man, this character, people love him, so we'll bring him back for this story.
Yeah,
he's alive now. Things.
In like the actual DC universe, like the main.
Yeah. Batman actually ended up running into him legit. Yeah. They brought him back, and he's done some things. Yeah.
How did Bruce react to that?
Well, he is not the happiest on how his father. They did have a nice touching moment of a bonding type thing, but he wasn't the happiest of how his father handles certain situations.
Well, yeah, it was like the only time I've ever seen Bruce like actually crying was when he was reading the letter from his dad. So of course they're gonna have some kind of like touching whatever. Yeah.
But and of course Bruce isn't gonna be the happiest with how he handles his enemies to how Bruce handled enemies, because for Bruce, you can't kill anybody.
Right. But Thomas probably just was like ready to shoot the Joker right in the head.
He's telling you like, bro, Bruce, you gotta understand these guys. He kind of even made like a little like the joke that I always make. It's like, yo, if you keep letting these people live, they're just gonna kill more and more people. Like, and then that's gonna be on you. Yeah. I'm like, it is on him because that's what he's been doing. He keeps letting these guys get out, and then like Joker's obviously the open example. He keeps coming out and he does stuff. Yeah.
Nick says Blue Beetle looks like a dumpster fire.
Well, I didn't think Blue Beetle looked that bad. Did you thought it looked that bad? I thought it was.
I thought the trailer looked amusing, but I don't know.
Because I gotta look it up, but I'm pretty sure George Lopez was in that trailer. I think that was George Lopez.
Yeah, he was the dad.
Yeah, okay. So that's just funny to me.
Yeah. that is funny.
No, I'm not just saying that's just funny to me. Okay, so think about it like this. Tell me, when you're thinking of superhero movies, would you really think George Lopez would be showing up? Even in Blue Beetle, would you really think George Lopez would be there?
No.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's funny to me. I did not think he would be there. When I saw him, I was like, that's hilarious. But no, overall, I didn't think the trailer looked that bad. The CGI didn't look terrible to me.
Nick says titles and characters that no normie will care about. See, that's true, but unfortunately, that's what DC has like put themselves in the position where like now they're having to do that.
Yeah.
And it's also what James Gunn is kind of known for. He's known to do these weird characters and then make you care about them. So I don't know.
But see, he does, and it's what I said before. You have to be careful with that because, again, the hardcore fans, yeah, you want to make them happy, but you have to also look at it in a way of how wrestling is. And this is why a lot of wrestling fans, definitely some of the more hardcore ones, don't understand it. But if you, like some of us do, and I am a hardcore wrestling fan, no matter how crappy the product can be, your hardcore fans will still be there. Right. Because all you hear is them complaining about how bad wrestling is or whatever, but they're still watching it. Right. You're trying to convince the casuals and the people who might not be as big of a fan to become fans. So when you keep using these obscure characters or these characters that's not as popular, he did do a good job with the Guardians of the Galaxy, but they're not gangbusters. None of their movies is like as popular or money-wise as big as like Iron Man's or Spider-Man's or those kind of guys. True. You still have to have those big names. So when you keep using these obscure people, you're not really like you're going to get a fan base, but nothing big enough to make any money off of it.
Right. That is very true.
That's the issue that we're running into.
I'm going to just search for, because I need to go through that list again. But let's go through some of these comments. Rob says, Swamp Thing is the only Gunn era movie I am looking forward to seeing, simply because I feel they have to stick to the source material to have it make sense. The likelihood of them screwing it up is low. I never actually got around to watching the Swamp Thing. Didn't they have like a show for a season and then North Carolina kind of fucked them over? And they had to cancel.
I didn't even know. I did not know.
North Carolina promised them all sorts of like filming breaks because North Carolina is one of the big.
I do remember that. I do remember that. Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah.
A lot of film studios, especially out on the coast, and then they like went back on it or something, and so they had to cancel. After, did they even make it a full season? I can't remember.
I don't think they did.
I never really watched an episode because they had it on that like little DC app, and then the DC app failed, so they took away the DC app. Is it on Max? I'll have to look.
Not for sure. That's a good question.
Don't know.
I don't know if it's up there. That's a great question.
Nick says, if you want to breathe life back into the DC movies, you don't pick shit no one knows. It's kind of what you were saying as well.
Yeah. That's true.
Blue Beetle looks like they forced Iron Man and Shazam to breed.
That's good.
That's funny. I actually just got to see Shazam 2 recently, so that's pretty funny. Yeah, definitely. Nick says spot on, Black Santa, and that the show was great. I'm assuming the Swamp Thing show.
Okay.
Yeah, I just need to figure out where I can watch it. Right. But yeah, so I need to find the list of movies here.
I forgot I legitimately forgot about Swamp Thing.
Yeah, me too. That's why I was like, wait, I need to go back and look at the list real quick. All right, so Superman Legacy, is coming out in 2025, written by James Gunn. The Authority, which nobody is excited for, I'm sure.
No,
look, dude, nobody really. You could be like one of the most hardcore comic people. Nobody was buying fucking Wildstorm comics.
No.
Come on, son. Nobody.
Good. Nah, I'm with
That's
you.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
All day they're in the dollar bin, and they're still in the dollar bin. People like even when it popped, you were still finding them. Like because nobody cares. Nobody cares.
No one cares. Nah, I'm with you. No one cares.
So the Authority. Then we have the Brave and the Bold, which who knows who they're going to include in the Brave and the Bold. Actually, they have said they're going to introduce Batman and Robin, and the unusual father.
Damien?
Yeah, it is going to be Damien. It looks like the father-son story
makes,
inspired
that
by
part
Grant
doesn't
Morrison.
make sense to me.
So now we get Damien.
That just doesn't make sense to me, though. You're rebooting everything, and we're going with a younger Superman, meeting Lois, blah, blah, blah. But yet Batman's going to have Damien already. Doesn't make much sense.
And it's not going to be Robert Pattinson Batman. Let's get that right.
No, and remember, they're still doing a part 2 of that. So we're still going to technically have multiple Batmans going around at the same damn time. Genius right there.
Batmans. Yeah, so it's gonna be Damien and Bruce. And
yeah, what happened to Dick?
Or
bro, where's Dick?
Yeah, where's my dick at?
Where is my dick at? Like seriously.
Shit. The Authority was the shit. Warren Ellis is badass. Warren Ellis has written some good stuff, but Warren Ellis always wants to know how smart Warren Ellis is.
Yes.
That's like the one thing that I don't like about reading anything from Warren Ellis.
Right.
Him and Garth Ennis, both of them, they're always like, I'm very smart, and this is how I'm going to write this comic.
You can understand how smart I am and envy it.
Yeah. Well, from the first page, you're going to know how smart I am.
Yeah.
And I'm not that smart, so I don't like that.
Absolutely.
Okay, we have Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Not Superwoman, Girl of Tomorrow, but Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow.
Okay, that makes sense.
Based on the Tom King series, apparently. And for me, Tom King is hit or miss, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I haven't read his Supergirl stuff, though. I will be honest with you. I read The Vision, and then I read some of his Batman, and I was like, no, this is not for me.
It was like, nah.
And then I read, oh god, what was the one that I read that I told you I was like, this, I'm going to rip these comics up. It was that fucking like Booster Gold came down and he was suspected of killing people. God, what?
Yes. Yeah.
What the fuck was that one? I couldn't even finish it. It wasn't Doomsday because it wasn't the Doomsday one. What was it?
God, is it the one where he tried to say was he trying to get Batman the gift? Was it that one?
Oh yeah, I think it was something like that.
It was supposed to be he was trying to give Batman the ultimate gift. So what he ended up doing was saving Batman's parents.
It was something. Was it that?
I know that's one of the stories, and that story gets a little wacky. It gets very.
No, it was recent. I don't know if it was that one. I do remember that one. That was weird. I don't think that was Tom King though. It was like it was like the next Crisis event. I can't. Heroes in Crisis, I think is what it was called actually.
Okay.
Heroes in Crisis. It was awful. It was so fucking garbage. It was so bad.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
It was so bad. Nick says Tom King sucks balls. Shit. That's funny. Here's Vinyl Dragons in the house. What's going on?
I know, my guy.
It says it's a DC crossover with Hypno Hustler. Oh, speaking of obscure characters, we do have to talk about how Sony canceled El Muerto. Thank God.
Not El Gando.
El Muerto.
El Grotto. No.
But yeah, so maybe they'll cancel Hypno Hustler next. We can only
Hypno Hustler can't be canceled, bro. He's the overall big bad for this DC. I'm gonna give y'all a huge spoiler. This is literally from the mind of James Gunn. Yeah, no, that's how I know. It's just no, I know. That just Black Santa knows all. Man, if I'm gonna tell y'all how I know, because Black Santa gets Christmas wish lists all the time. and James Gunn end up, instead of sending me what he wants for Christmas, he ended up sending me a little bit of a script of what he planned on doing in the future. So just so y'all know, I ain't gonna spoil too much, but Hypno Hustler is going to be the main big bad of this whole DC event. It's gonna be an event. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy. He's gonna show up after the Wonder Woman 2 movie. Because there's gonna be a Wonder Woman 2. It's gonna be after that movie, after the reboot of Wonder Woman 2.
Honestly, I can't believe it. I just can't believe it. That's crazy. Rob says, I wish Nick would tell us how he really feels, and Nick says, stick around. Oh, Nick will tell you. Don't worry.
He sure will, and I love it.
So yes, we do have a Swamp Thing project. So DC Studios lineup announcement says only that this movie will investigate the dark origins of Swamp Thing. All right. So those are the movies. So Swamp Thing, Supergirl, Brave and the Bold, Authority, Superman Legacy, and so Blue Beetle is not included in the James Gunn technically.
Right.
It's not included in James Gunn DC.
So I guess this would technically be the last of the original DC movies, I guess.
Bro, I don't know. I can't keep it straight.
I don't even know if you had any real. I don't know what's happening.
Then, as far as DCU TV shows go, we have Creature Commandos, which will be pegged for 7 episodes. And Amanda Waller will form another super team of monstrous prisoners. Then we have a show about Amanda Waller called Waller. So this bitch got a contract like nobody else. I don't know.
I know, man. Like, she definitely eating, man. They made sure she got her shot.
Yeah, she's eating James Gunn's ass. I'll tell you that right now. She gotta be doing something. She gotta be doing something to be included in every fucking project. What the hell?
I know,
we already had. She was the only one kept from Suicide Squad to Suicide Squad. Then she turns up in Peacemaker. Now she's got 2 new shows she's slated for. She must suck a mean dick, bro. I'm telling you what, she must suck some dick like nobody else believes. That's crazy. All right, so we got Waller. I don't even know what Waller's going to be about. Let's see. Waller will follow. It will feature Team Peacemaker and is written by Watchmen's Crystal Henry and Supernatural's Jeremy Carver. There you go. So
yeah, Supernatural, baby.
Chris is gonna love that show.
Yep, absolutely.
Sure. Yep. All right. Then we have a Booster Gold show. Speaking of Booster Gold, we have a Booster Gold show. The comic relief character time traveler uses basic technology and consumer appliances from the future to make himself a superhero in present day. Then we have Lanterns. All right, so it's going to be Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart in a buddy cop team up. Damn. Well, at least we get Jon Stewart. I really wish that there was only Jon, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
And then we get Paradise Lost, a touch on Wonder Woman's history and character arc. It's not clear, however, if Wonder Woman will appear in the show.
Wait, does it actually say that? Does it?
Yes.
Does it actually say that?
I swear to God. So the show will touch on Wonder Woman's history and character arc. It's not clear, however, if she will star in it.
See, when you do hear shit like that, that does make you just kind of be like, you know what, this is going to be a failure, isn't it? Like, what type of that is just dumb.
DC Studios
says clear if it's a story about her, because I think that's supposed to be like their Game of Thrones crap, right? Basically.
Yes, it's going to have a Game of Thrones feel. It's going to be the genesis and political intrigue of an island of all women.
Bro, this story going to be about Wonder Woman's grandmother leading to Wonder Woman's mother, which might lead to Wonder Woman.
Nick says that he says, I thought only chicks watch Supernatural.
Watch Superman films?
Supernatural.
Oh, he taking a shot at Supernatural like that. Come on, Nick. You know you like Supernatural too, man. Don't be hating like that, bro. All y'all like Supernatural. I don't know why y'all be hating for, bro.
Maybe his daughter likes Supernatural, but
All I know is that they had like they had 20 damn seasons. And look, Supernatural is awesome, man. It's not because the chicks carried the show. All right.
Yeah.
It was because Supernatural was great, man. They was like, especially I loved how Supernatural started, just hunting, crazy creatures and mythical creatures like, the Bloody Mary and stuff like that. But then it did get kind of weird when they opened up the angels, and then it kind of just kept going with that, and that kind of got a little annoying. But nah, Supernatural was great.
I like how you're like, yeah, it was good, and then it got really weird. But you know what? It was good. It was good. But then there was like some weird, like not so good stuff. But overall, it was good.
It just my biggest issue with Supernatural though, it's like they had like multiple seasons where the main character, like either Sam or Dean, died, and it was just like, oh god, they're never gonna come back, and then they're right back in the next season. Like literally the first episode of their resurrection. Like, bro, that's kind of, you can't do that more than once.
Chris, I think what happened is you got invested early in like season 1 or 2, and then like you just got you just got blinded. You just had to see it through. That's like everyone with Game of Thrones, everyone with Dexter. You get sucked into the first couple seasons,
yeah, and
then like you just have to see it through, even though I'm
loyal, bro. I'm loyal.
Yeah. So I saw from the first episode that I was not going to enjoy it. And
no, you never gave it a real chance.
No. This is what happened. So I told Chris right at PetSmart when we were working there together, and I was like, yeah, I tried Supernatural. I watched like the first episode or 2, and then I was like, it's not for me. He's like, no, man, you gotta watch like the first 10 episodes. I'm like, bro, they're an hour long. He's like, once you get past the first 10, it's all right. I'm like, oh my god. I gotta quit.
You gotta give it a try, bro. It's like I've always told you. I can't say like if a rapper puts out their next CD, I can't say it's garbage because I listen to 1 or 2 songs. I gotta listen to the whole thing. I can be like, that thing garbage, man.
Yeah,
at least I gotta give it
1 hour.
And be like, all right, that's trash. I can't say it's great because it has one good hit. I gotta listen to a couple of songs, man. I gotta listen to a couple of bangers, bro. I gotta listen to Jonah. You know what I'm saying? Broski, bro. I gotta listen to.
But see, the difference is when you listen to an album, it's like an hour. All right, that's 1 episode of Supernatural. All right, I gotta do that 10 times. Imagine you gotta listen to this trash album for 10 times straight, dude. You'd be losing your fucking mind, bro. And then you're like, but no, it gets good when you play it the 11th time. You're like, I don't think so.
Look, man, all I'm saying is, man, look, you gotta give a couple episodes. You would have been on it. Because I tell you, man, when you told me that, I was debating. I was like, man, I don't think we can be friends, man. I might not take I disrespect Supernatural like that. You know, he ain't
we already good friends. I told him that shit. He's like, you know what? I don't know if we can be friends no more.
It's like, I don't think we can be friends anymore, man. I think, man, I made a mistake here.
All right, let's catch up on some of these comments. Rob says, how the F does James Gunn not launch the new DC movie verse with Zatanna starring Lizzo? Zatanna? Like the fucking guitarist?
No, Zatanna, the girl from Batman.
Oh. My mind's on Santana. Oh, Carlos Santana over here. Yes, Zatanna. He just spelled it wrong. Starring Lizzo. Lizzo as Zatanna. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, she could. Yeah, sure, exactly. Yeah, sure. I don't know. I don't
think the flute
along with her would be anything too crazy, but featuring her in like one of the Batman things would be straight.
Black Santa is slated for Christmas 2024, 30 episodes, Disney Plus.
Hell yeah.
Shit. It bothered me every time they mispronounced Crowley's name.
See?
Here we
go. Remember he made that statement about only girls watch? For you to actually say that bothered you, that means you watched pretty far in, because that dude don't show up for a while.
Got him.
Oh, boy. So you were watching too. I told you you were watching. I told you you were watching.
Vinyl Dragon says, nah, Chris, you told me you watched the first few episodes of Love Boat and then gave up and went back over and over, even rewatched a few. Bro, Violence just keep trying to stir the pot. He just making all sorts of shit up.
That's what I'm saying, man. I ain't even gonna front. I don't even really know what Love Boat is, so I don't even really know. But yeah, sure.
Nick says sounds like when people try pushing Lost. That was another one. So like the first season was like legendary type shit. Like it was brand new. No one had ever done some stuff like this before. And then it just like it got to this point where I mean I've never watched an episode of Lost, but this is just what people have told me. And then it just got to a point where like nobody knew what the fuck was going on type of shit, and then they didn't know how to end it. But I think Nick was actually the person who told me this, is that they were just having like different people write episodes like for each episode, and that's why it just like became this cesspool of like nobody knew what direction they were going because someone new was writing every like each episode. I'm pretty sure Nick told me that. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that he told me that.
I know how that can be, because that can happen in like certain animes and stuff where it can, and it's not necessarily. It usually happens when they're following a manga, but the manga hasn't been finished. So, and then like maybe the manga writer goes on a hiatus because of either sickness or whatever the case may be, and they take like a long break. Like for instance, the original Hellsing that came out in 2001, that whole story just goes off the hinge compared to the manga, because the creator of the manga went on a huge hiatus. So they was like, crap, how the hell do we finish this? And they just made their own stuff up. So a lot of times when that happened, they'll have like different people writing episode to episode, and it's like this story does not make sense anymore. Like it doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
Which is exactly what happened with Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
Game of Thrones was so amazing. It followed the books until George R. Martin, because he started writing this shit back in the early 90s. And this motherfucker has had a book due for the last fucking 10 years. Okay? And he just still won't write it. So when they got to that point in the story, and they just really didn't know where to go, the both directors consulted with George R. R. Martin, like, hey, bro, how does this shit end? And he just like kind of gave them some pointers, and then they kind of took off with it. But that's where the show really started falling apart, because they had to deviate from the source material. Not to say that they stuck straight on the source material 100%, but season 1 was pretty much shot for shot with book 1. And then like, they kind of introduced different things, but still stuck pretty close to everything until they ran out of source material. So this, just like you were saying, when they run out, they gotta make some shit up. They don't know what, they gotta finish it somehow. They can't just take a 10-year break on the show. Come back and all these actors are a decade older. You know what I mean? Like, what the hell do you think they're gonna do?
That out here. And I will definitely say that is an issue Supernatural definitely ran into, because it went too long. I felt like they definitely was like, it's popular, but we don't know how to end this. And they just kind of kept stuff just happening. So that could definitely happen when something goes a little too long.
Gotcha. Rob says Lost and Supernatural are great examples of shows that the creators totally didn't expect the shows to keep getting renewed. That's exactly what you just said. And they eventually just ran out of ideas trying to keep it going.
Exactly. Yep. Exactly.
Nick says JJ is big on passing torch without a set game plan. Same shit happened with Star Wars when he passed off to Rian Johnson. JJ. Who we talking about? Oh, I know who you're talking about. But the hold on. The new Star Wars trilogy, right?
Yeah, I would guess so, right?
Because I think originally they were going to take the directors from Game of Thrones. If I remember how that whole thing went down, they were going to take those two dudes who did Game of Thrones and bring them into and do the new Star Wars trilogy, because they were like the hottest thing at the time, Game of Thrones. It's so crazy to think how Game of Thrones was like one of the biggest events in pop culture. And then all of a sudden, after that shit show final season, like nobody ever talks about it anymore. Yeah, that's JJ Abrams. Thank you. So they were going to give it to I think it's Benioff and Wise, I think were their name. I think they were both David. It was like David squared. And then it ended up going to J.J. Abrams, who had done Star Trek, if I'm not wrong. I might be wrong. I think that he did the newer Star Trek movies, which were actually also decent. And I don't know what happened. I think Disney just got in the way of the new Star Wars movies being anything. I think that's just kind of how it happened. Besides George Lucas stepping on his own foot every time he tries to do something with Star Wars, I think that Disney also got in the way. And so that J.J. Abrams was just kind of like, I don't know. I don't think it was entirely his fault. Because he did such a good job with the Star Trek movie. And I was never a Star Trek fan. Never.
I've never gotten into Star Trek like I did Star Wars. Like I always thought Star Wars was cooler.
I mean, I never really gotten into Star Wars either, but I definitely had nothing to do with Star Trek. I didn't watch any of the shows. I read any of the comics or the books or anything like that. Nothing. And so when I watched the one that came out in like 2008, 2009, somewhere in that area, and like I was going in knowing zero about the franchise, and I fucking loved that movie. I think I probably saw it. I was working in the theater, so it was different for me to be like, oh yeah, I saw it like 3 times. But like I saw it 3 times. It was free, but I saw it 3 times in the theaters. And then like when the other one with Benedict Cumberbatch came out, The Wrath of Khan or whatever it was, saw that one a couple times too. Like I thought those were really dope. And then it fell off after that. But I think that he had the talent and potential. I just think that Disney got in the way. And I think Disney would have gotten in the way no matter how many people or like whoever they put at the helm of those movies.
That's true.
But it definitely was. I think Final Dragon said, Santa, did you see James had a senior moment? He said Chris had a senior moment with JJ. It was me. I had a senior moment. Yes, thank you for calling me old. Yet again, it wouldn't be an episode of this without Vinyl Dragon calling me old.
It would not be.
It was for Han Solo, the Game of Thrones guys. Nick says, yes, that's why they shat out Game of Thrones last seasons to focus more on Star Wars. But then they declined it. Then they turned it down. Because of they say it's because of the Star Wars fans' toxic fan base. But who knows what the real reason is.
Who knows what the real, because trust me, it's a certain, like you said before, everybody got a price, certain amount of money, they'll be like, no, we taking it. But I will say this, one, the Star Wars fan base is very toxic and is really crappy. Two, the only thing I really knew about Star Trek was 2 things. One, the whole Khan thing where he's Khan, because I would see that in different little things of him screaming or people making fun of it in different shows. So I knew about that. And the other thing I knew that was fucking crazy to me was like every time they got teleported, the original version of them would technically die. And then they would get like teleport to another place, like a clone basically. And when I found out, I was like, that's fucking crazy. I never watched after that though. I never watched, period. I was like, that's fucking crazy. I want to see it, but I just never really watched it.
Final Dragon says they were actually fired. Okay, so that I didn't know. So they were fired from the project. Okay. Yeah.
They might have trying to making that statement. What did y'all just say?
Yeah. They were probably trying to put too many titties into the movies, you know what I mean? They're coming up in Game of Thrones where someone's fucking in the background every other scene, and they were like, "Oh, let's just do that with Star Wars, but we can have alien titties." And they're like, "Yeah." And then the mouse came in. He was like, "No,"
because everybody was like, "Yeah," and then Mickey was like, "Oh, what was that?" Oh shit! We said no, Mickey. We said no. Get these guys out of here. And that was that. That was their run.
Nick says Kathleen Kennedy sabotaged everything. Kathleen Kennedy was the one who fired the 2. They had filmed 80% of the movie, and then Kennedy scrapped it and then hired Ron Howard to finish it. Ron Howard, like Halloween Ron Howard? Is that who we're talking about?
Did he do that? I didn't know that.
No. I might
Did
be.
he actually do that?
I'm probably having another senior moment.
Man, I didn't know.
Says Vinyl Drag. I can't keep all these people's names straight, dude. It's just too many fucking things. But yeah, biggest bomb for Disney. Yeah. I mean, we all know how I feel about Star Wars.
Yeah, no doubt.
So, yeah. Especially the new ones.
Yeah, especially the new ones. They fucking suck.
All right. We have a few more things to talk about. First of all, did you happen to catch the Secret Invasion episode?
I have not.
Okay. Yeah, we won't go too far into it. It was okay. It wasn't like
I will probably. Matter of fact, I'll probably either do it when we get off because I'm off tomorrow. But I will get to it. Yeah.
It was aight.
It was aight.
It was aight. It wasn't like I don't know.
Was it aight in the sense of like good or in the sense of kind of bad? Like you're a little disappointed.
It was just like I mean I know it was the first episode. It was just like yeah. It was, I don't know. I just kind of I wasn't feeling it really. I was just like okay, like whatever. Maybe I need to rewatch it. I was only like half paying attention, but I was just like it just wasn't. Vinyl Dragon's roasting me right now. But the funniest thing about Vinyl Dragon is that he'll roast me by just like saying things that are happening. You know what I mean? Like
that's what he does.
It don't even have to be like you don't even have to like exaggerate at all. He'll just be like, "Look at this dude like wearing headphones." I'm like, damn.
I always gotta have that friend though, because I always had like that one person who would just be roasting off the, like you said. I look at that dude wearing that headphone, man. Wearing that stupid ass headphone. Just say some random thing, and you're just like, what? It's funny like, because how random it is.
I don't even know how to defend myself because I'm like, yeah, I do be wearing headphones. You know?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, that dude eat that ham sandwich over there. Yeah, I'm eating a ham sandwich. You're right. Yeah, it's good too.
He's 100% right. I am eating it. Yeah. Ah, shit. That's funny. Nick Fury has been ruined since a cat is the reason for his bad eye. Cucked.
God.
Nick finds zero joy in any superhero content out these days. I gotta tell you. He doesn't wear the patch anymore. I'll tell you that.
I told you, man. Bro, man, it killed him, man. All this crap of recent years have just killed his joy.
That's right.
I told you.
He's not, so like he doesn't wear the eye patch in this series. At least in episode 1, he's not wearing the eye patch. So he's just out there with the scratch and the dead eye for everybody to see.
Interesting.
But yeah, man, I don't know. Maybe I just need to rewatch it and then watch episode 2, which comes out tomorrow, and then and see where I go from there. But I don't know. I just wasn't feeling it, man. Like even their big like their big event that happened or their shocking twist was just like I was like, okay, that's cool.
Okay.
All right. So and then the last thing that I wanted to end with here was we have a new trailer to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got Five Nights at Freddy's official trailer to watch, which I'm excited about.
Me too, man.
So I love Five Nights at Freddy's. So
me too, man. And you want to talk about a phenomenon when that all the YouTubers was going crazy on it. All the people was talking about like that. How it was building all that stuff, but even with that thing got hot and it sold and it went crazy.
For sure. All right, we're gonna go ahead and we'll see. Five Nights at Freddy's. All right. We on. Okay, let's go. Let's go ahead and play it.
Hi, this is Mike. I was just calling to see if that job that you offered was still available.
Yes.
a security guard.
I will take anything.
Love it, Mike.
It's huge in the 80s with the kids. They shut it down years ago. The owner's just not ready to let it go yet.
I will work and you will sleep.
I understand.
Give me your hand.
All you have to do is keep your eyes on the monitor.
Welcome to Freddy Fazbear's, where fantasy and fun come to life.
Okay.
This guy's in everything these days. What the fuck? I just noticed who that was.
Getting that work.
Yeah. And then just like, is he the only actor in Hollywood now?
Yes.
We must be new security guards.
Can I help you, officer?
Have you met them yet?
Met who?
Them. In the 80s, kids went missing. The police searched Freddy's top to bottom.
Hello?
They never found them. That's why the place shut down.
There are ghost children possessing giant robots. Thanks for the heads up.
Technically, they're animatronics.
What do they want?
They want to make her like them.
Papi! Tell me how to stop them.
It's too late.
Bobby, go!
Oh, shit.
Where to? Why do I always get the weirdos?
All right. Well, there you go.
Well, all right. So the trailer overall, for what it was, not really a problem. But the disappointment I have is, and it's literally just a personal disappointment. I'm not saying it's a bad idea what they're going with. I understand what they're going with. But what made Five Nights at Freddy's so freaking in the concept, what made it so scary, what made it so this, it was just Mike. It was just one person,
Yeah.
dealing with all this.
Right.
When you add in either his little sister or his daughter, when you add that aspect in that wasn't part of the original thing, then you add in another person in there, the girl's there too. It's more people helping to deal with it.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit of a disappointment on just my end. Not saying my end is right. I'm just saying, just for me, that's a little disappointing. But I understand why they did that. You can't really, definitely movies nowadays, you're not just going to have just one male actor dealing with these events without having a female actor or, multiple people in there like that. But it does take away a little bit of something for me, at least.
Nick says, are either of you familiar with Showbiz Pizza Parlor? I am not.
I am not neither.
I see if I type in Showbiz Pizza Place comes up.
Is this the part where you try to get us to sell you our souls or something? Is that, are y'all interested? Are y'all about chance know anything about this so-called event or this thing? I don't know. You know, James? No, we don't know.
No, I don't know. But I will say I think Nick Cage did it better. Just based off of what I've seen already. I don't even need to see the movie. Nick Cage did it better with that most
You've seen the movie, right?
That recent one, yeah.
Yeah, because I told you to watch it. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you did tell me to watch it because originally I wasn't going to watch it because I was like, Nick Cage, whatever.
Yep.
But that was probably his best role, and he didn't say
told you,
a fucking word. Bro, he is so badass in that movie, and he didn't say a goddamn word, bro.
That's what I was saying. That's what made it so good to me. I was like, that is shit. He literally came in, did his job, and was ready to go home.
Yeah.
Like, that's that man here, dude. He was here to do that. I loved it, man.
I love that shit
Love
too.
that movie.
And like the craziest thing is that like they just did that movie like within the last
what I'm
2
saying.
years. So why
Yeah.
are we doing it?
Because this is the actual version of Five Nights at Freddy, and that one was more of the quote unquote parody version of it, I guess, if you want to say. But this is the actual. I'm pretty sure we're not going to see Mike being as badass as Nicolas Cage character was. This dude is going to be running around trying to
Peter
survive.
from the Hunger Games. No, he definitely ain't as bad. He gonna be running around Katniss. The whole time. That's all that's gonna be, motherfucker.
So what did you think of the trailer though?
It looked okay, but like I said, the whole time I'm just sitting there thinking Nick Cage did it better.
Yeah,
It's gonna be tough for me to watch the movie without thinking that. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Vinyl Dragon says, "Wow, showbiz. It's been a minute. Yeah, back in 1960, probably for vinyl. You know."
There we go. It's also not a stream until you go back at him.
Nicholas says, "No, it's what Five Nights at Freddy's is based on. Kinda. Growing up in the 80s was the shit. So I assume that like something happened, and that's what has going like what it's kind of the story of it."
Because the whole premises of Five Nights at Freddy is, the kids, had a piece of place, and the kids end up eventually getting killed by the animatronics. It's a whole different, like a crazy story that alludes, like there's this purple guy that you see in a bunch of the different games, and it basically comes down to he's the one who lured them into, and it takes like damn near game 3 or 4 for you actually find this out. But he's the one who basically killed those kids off, and their souls captured of the animatronics to eventually get revenge on him, but also to bring other kids in. It gets really crazy, but that stuff happens later on. But the whole main thing is just from the beginning part that you could piece together, at least from even just the first game, is that kids get killed by the animatronics. Their soul takes over the animatronics, and now like any other the main character Mike, who for the first game was in there just trying to do his job, and they were trying to kill him. And that scene at the end, which is interesting, when they showed him inside, that's basically from what I gathered when they showed the little things, like the God, what are they called? The little fans that was about to strut him.
The what?
The fans. You saw he had like the little quick fans that was about to cut him in half and everything. Well, cut like each side of him when he was in. I think he was inside the animatronics because that's what's in there. It's a bunch of like things that can cut people like you don't want to be in. Gotcha. So I think that's what it was. And those little fan blades, basically, that was at the end. Was I think he was in one of the animatronics, probably Freddy, more than likely.
Gotcha. Rob says Nick Cage in the Freddy movie would whoop John Wick's ass.
Whoa! See now you I don't know, man. The funny thing is so funny that I flat out can't say that he can't. But I'm not going to disrespect John Wick neither. I don't know.
That'd be a good fight.
That would be a good fight. All we know is Nick ain't gonna say nothing.
Why do I need this movie now?
That's what I'm saying, man. Yeah, man, Rob, man, I'm telling you.
Why are we coming with the best movie ideas on this fucking podcast, bro?
That's what I'm saying,
the
man.
best crossover movies that would never be allowed to happen.
That's right.
We come up with that shit. That's crazy. Nick says that we missed out on growing up in the 80s. Yeah. I missed out on my dad going out for a pack of cigarettes and never coming back. I missed out on that. I missed out on cocaine being so readily available. That
cocaine was one hell of a drug.
Basically started the fucking opioid crisis. Yeah, I missed out on that shit.
Remember how bad like cocaine was in the 80s for even the NBA? Like it was all those teams was just coked up on drugs and everything. Like people forget how bad the Chicago Bulls was when Michael got there. It was Michael Jordan and a bunch of crackheads. Like, that's not even a joke. Like, literally. It was Michael and literally a bunch of crackheads. People wondering why Michael was averaging all those points. Those motherfuckers weren't able to do anything but get high. They were fucked up. He was like, yo, just give me the ball. They didn't even know what the ball was. So, yeah. I mean, he ain't had
they said
all rocks they were dealing with.
They said, pass me the rock, and they gave him a crack rock.
Yeah. That's the rock they want. They ain't want no basketball. They're like, Michael passing that. They're like, nah, man, I don't want this. They passed it right back.
Ah, shit. That is hilarious.
Nah, but on the real though, drugs was super bad in the NBA in the 80s. It was horrible.
I missed out on Ronald Reagan imprisoning all those black people and then implementing the 3-strike policy. I missed out on growing up in the 80s, bro. It's crazy. This shit is
wild. For real. Yeah, I'm sure I would have enjoyed it back then. Yeah.
Oh,
my mom tells tons of great stories about how it
was. Nick says Nick Cage from Mandy would kick John Wick's ass.
Whoa. Hold on now.
Oh,
I got a feeling he might be some John Wick fans on here.
Yeah, obviously not a bit. I still haven't seen the newest one, the 4th one, but I've heard that it's pretty much the same movie as the first 3. So if I like the first 3, I'll like the 4th one.
Yeah, you will. No, that's not even a lie. Yeah, you will. If you like the first one, you'll like this one too.
I mean,
I like those. I like the movies, but they're the same movie.
Like, it really is. Honestly, I mean, the first one was dope, and then it was like, number 2, what's gonna happen? Oh, the same thing. Oh, number 3, okay, what's gonna happen? Oh, the same thing. So it's like everyone's going crazy, but it keeps making ridiculous amounts of money.
That's what I'm saying. It sells. So, and again, I'm not sitting there saying they're bad. I like the movies. I'm just not ignorant to say they're like, oh my God, this is the greatest storytelling of all time. No, it's the same shit. It's just more of it. So I'm fine.
Nick,
I like
Nick is educating us. The Five Nights at Freddy's backstory is based on the urban legend from the 80s on why showbiz shut down so quick. So probably, I don't know this urban legend, but I can only assume what it was about. Vinyl Dragon says, wasn't it Lynn Bias who died on coke on the court from cocaine?
Yeah. So it wasn't very good.
Cocaine.
Again, man, like Whitney said, cocaine's a hell of a drug, man.
Cocaine.
And Bobby Brown talking about it.
Well, yeah, because they were fucking freebasing it. In the 80s, the whole country didn't need an internet to tell us Richard Gere had a gerbil up his ass. We all just knew. We knew.
Knew.
Look, Rob, don't make me bring up the Richard Gere picture where he posed naked and he's just letting it all hang out. I'll do it. I'll put it on your 75-inch screen right now. I swear to God, I will.
Nah. We ain't. Nah, don't. You don't have to make those jokes about sponsors anymore. We ain't never gonna get shit.
I don't even remember who he was posing for. Was it Playgirl? I don't remember.
I mean, maybe he didn't even have to pose for anybody. Maybe he just wanted to show his name.
He was just doing nudes.
Just randomly wanted to pose.
Before nudes were cool, he was just doing nudes.
Exactly. Before they were cool, he just wanted to have some fun.
He
said he won't let the boys out. He said he ain't got the girls, so he let the boys out.
When I worked for an independent movie theater that showed pretty much exclusively independent films for a little while. And when I tell you that old people love Richard Gere, oh my God, old people can't get enough of Richard Gere. I made a skit about it. Like, this is like 10, 11 years ago. But it got to a point where I made a skit about these two old, like an old couple having an orgasm just saying the name Richard Gere, like getting to that point where they just couldn't, they just couldn't get enough of Richard Gere to the point where even the name would make them have an orgasm. So that shit it's just ridiculous, but that's funny that he brings up Richard Gere and the gerbil.
Oh my God, that is funny.
Nick says cocaine was huge in the 70s. You could buy cutting kits in the back of Sears catalogs back then. Yeah, because it was legal. That shit was legal. It was, dude. They didn't know. They didn't know.
No. I'm just saying. The fact. Just think about what you just said, though. Like, it was legal.
Yeah, that was legal.
Man, I tell you, man.
Meth was legal. They were doing all sorts of crazy shit back then, bro. They was prescribed by a pharmacist. They're like, yeah, you just need some meth.
But see, that's exactly why I'm happy I didn't grow up in the 80s.
Yeah. And then Nick's like, you missed out on growing up in the 80s. Yeah, no, I'm
Oh
good.
yeah, missed out
Yeah,
on
I'm
so
good.
much.
I'm good. Yeah.
Yeah.
My dad was following the Grateful Dead around in the 80s. I'm good. I don't need none of that, bro.
Nah, you know that's right. Man,
I don't need that shit. I don't need them
nah,
crazy ass hippies and shit that was going on back then. What the fuck? Are you crazy? God
nah,
damn.
I'm good.
Vinyl Dragon says, bro, you were talking about that hairy Burt Reynolds nude photo. No, Richard Gere has one too, bro. Why don't you just search for it, dude? Why are you acting like I haven't searched for it? Like I ain't seen it. Like it was in the background of my phone for a year.
Look at what the background of my phone. Okay. All right.
All right. I think we're gonna end it there.
I think we should. We out here talking about some hairy man balls now, man. Why?
Look, nah. Richard Gere kept it clean, bro. You know what? I'm gonna bring it up. No, you know what? We'll end it.
When you really not into the picture? Like, damn.
Bro, it was a running joke at the theater. Like we had it printed out on the back, like the fridge in the back. Dude, I'm not even fucking with you right now, bro. It was hilarious. That place was like, if like,
oh my God,
like the most inappropriate shit would go down at, like in that job. It was one of those workplaces that, you know, like everyone is just kind of like cool with each other enough to the point where, like, if you were to print out a nude photo of fucking Richard Gere and put it on the backstock fridge, like nobody would say shit at all. So that was like the kind of shit that we would do all the fucking time. So yes, there was a nude pose of Richard Gere on the backstock fridge
that y'all basically worshipped.
Yeah, dude, it was Richard Gere. No, we didn't work. It was just like to keep the old people. We said it was the Richard Gere shrine, so the old people would keep coming to the indie theater, so we would stay in business. But it didn't work because we got shut down anyway. But the whole lot was bought out by Harris Teeter, and they knocked that shit down. That's how. It was like the first job that I legit got like fired from. I guess laid off. Because Harris Teeter came in and bought that shit. Yeah,
damn,
man.
Harris Teeters.
Yeah, goddamn Harris Teeter.
No, Dragon says say that. I was working at a Harris Teeters, and then they end up getting bought.
Harris Teeter got bought?
I think. Shit like that. That's funny.
By Kroger? Kroger is like that other one that's just is there, especially in our area. Kroger is definitely huge. Vinyl Dragon says, bro, you said the theater smelled like Fritos and Metamucil. No, the theater actually smelled like Indian food, because we had we in addition to playing some indie films, we would play Bollywood films as well. And the owner who owned the theater also owned this place called Bombay Beijing that was like this Asian Indian fusion restaurant, and they had some bomb ass samosas, bro. They had like some of the best samosas that I've ever had period. So they would deliver these trays of samosas for us to sell. So we would have like hot savory items. That was like our thing. So we'd have samosas for the Bollywood films. And so that theater definitely smelled like curry and samosas, because all the Indian people would come and for the Bollywood films and be eating samosas and stuff. Which those things were good, bro. I can't blame. I'd be eating like a whole bunch of those things too. I'd get a few of them on the way home. I'd be like, hell yeah, let me buy a couple of the leftovers and bring them home. That shit was delicious. Yeah.
Nah, absolutely, man. And the thing is, man, that experience you had, that type of openness with your workmates and stuff like that, that shit don't happen now in 2023. There's always going to be that one person who's beyond offended at shit that don't need to be offended for.
I have never had a job like that. Ever. And bro, let me tell you, like, we had all sorts of people who worked there too. This shit was so much fun. Oh my God. I mean, like, we had a transgender person who worked there. We had, like, I swear to God, everyone would try to one up each other on the humor and just like the crazy shit that we would do there, because it was only like a 6-film theater or 6-room theater. So like it would be really busy for about half an hour, and then you wouldn't have shit to do for an hour and a half. So we played games. We played Munchkins. We played fucking. We would just make up games to play at that. Dude, it was a ball. It was so
good
much
times.
fun.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I've never had a job like that again. So Hope maybe one day I'll
Maybe.
when I'm old and I have to be like a Walmart greeter or some shit. You know what I mean? I'm like, damn, comic books. I didn't really plan for retirement. I gotta be a fucking Walmart greeter.
Yeah, some mistakes was made there.
I know I'm gonna be posting pictures of Richard Gere. Nobody's gonna know who Richard Gere is. No.
Richard fucking Gere.
In 50 years, everyone's gonna be like, who the fuck is
so
this?
many times in one moment, man. What the hell, man?
Why the fuck is there a naked picture of this old dude from 1980 on the backstock fridge? Oh shit! This is like 2070. We're talking about. It's the year 2070. I've printed out a picture of Richard Gere naked from 1980. A 90-year-old picture. Oh, this shit. I'm fired immediately.
Yeah. Oh, the way social media, the way the world's going, how soft it's gonna be. They might cut your head off for that, man. You was too offensive.
I cut my head
Not too
off.
much. They gotta behead you, bro. You gotta cut your head right off, bro.
Bro, at that point, I'll probably just be like, I'll welcome it. I'll just be like,
Yeah,
thank
exactly.
God.
Yeah. I knew what was gonna happen. Go ahead and do it, you bastards.
Anything but greeting people at Walmart. Jesus Christ, please. I can't do it. I can't
Shout
do it
out
no
to all
more.
the greeters at Walmart.
Yeah, shout out to all my grandparents at Walmart who also didn't plan for retirement. This one's for you. Ah, shit. All right, we're out of here. That's enough shenanigans for one evening, I think.
I think it is.
As always, we appreciate y'all hanging out with us. We'll be back next Tuesday for sure.
Yep.
Hit that like button, smash it, mash it. Whether you're live or on the replay, I can't imagine anyone on the replay making it this far. It's just there's no possibility. But we appreciate you if you did. And we'll catch you next Tuesday. As always, stay villainous and
Fuck.